thank you for bringing the green jacket,
Yes,
too.
sir.
How hard is it to get that thing out? Like, it's got rules about its public appearances, yeah?
I don't know all the rules. There's a dress code that comes with it. You learn about this quickly when you have to sign documents and things about what you're doing.
It's official.
They obviously, we all know the rules around Augusta National, right? And they tell you you're representing Augusta National, right? The jacket is Augusta National. So least you can wear is golf attire. That's the worst dress code you can have. So no jeans, no shorts, which
You look nice.
You look great.
You look
golf clothes.
fantastic.
And
Got the green rolly to match.
exactly.
Yeah, this ain't bad.
I feel like
This
I'm
ain't
worthy
rookie
of wearing
league.
this now. It's complicated. You can't have a public appearance, or the jacket can't make, not you, the jacket can't make a public appearance without them knowing. They don't like to be surprised, so they need to give approval for everything. They need to approve this. I can't be seen, I can't be photographed with a jacket and having alcohol. It just goes on and on and on. So it's
Wow. I feel flattered that this got the
Yeah.
clearance, by the way. Compliment to you. There's been some awkward jacket exchanges in the history. I thought you and Scotty pulled it off flawlessly. Is there any rehearsal on that before? Like, hey,
Yes.
dude, let's not butcher this. Let's a little
not
practice round.
Scotty, but they had me rehearse it with the
Nice.
people outside, and like, what arm do you like first?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've never thought of this in my life, right? They have you try a few jackets on and all that, and then it's like, how you do this? Oh, left. I guess I do left first, this and that, and then they tell Scotty, and it's pretty funny how it goes. And then the one rule that I had to remember is like, do not shake Scotty's hands first. Do the chairman. And the whole time I'm there thinking, I'm like, don't this up. Because Scotty did it, and the first person I see, Scotty, even though he was trying to kind of like hide behind me and walk off like Sam did.
Sam didn't walk. He ran. He took off.
So yeah, I saw it like the second they announced it. I see him just bolt out of that. It was just,
He was the only person to run at Augusta all week.
Yeah.
it was pretty
he was-
funny.
he
So
was
like
ready to be
it
out.
was in my mind. I'm like, okay, Chairman Ridley. It's pretty funny. I mean, they make you nervous.
Well, let's talk about that Champions
Yeah,
Dinner,
let's
because I
get
think
into
that's
that.
one of the coolest traditions in
Yeah.
all sports. Obviously, you got to host it. I know you did your
Yeah.
Texas barbecue. Okay, and you've been to a lot of Champions Dinners since then. What do you do if, like, one of them sucks? Like, the food sucks? Like, you just
Yeah.
deal with it, or do you just be like, excuse me, Danny Willett, your food sucks. I want my Texas barbecue back.
With Danny Willett, it was like, hey, this should be my dinner.
Exactly, yes.
Oh,
There you go.
So I'm not
Perfect.
going to like anything you serve, even if it's the best
I
meal
hate
on
you,
planet
Danny.
Earth.
I'm not eating it no
Could be-
matter what.
Yeah, and
Chick-fil-A.
your wine, no, not having it. I'm staying sober tonight. Yeah, I don't know what you'd do.
I mean, I'm sure the food's always great. Cause
Yeah, I mean they could serve haggis and make it taste good there, you
Yeah.
know. But it's always that you have to choose like what you're having at cocktail hour, and then you got the dinner and all that, and you choose the wine. I'm like, I was 21. Like, what the hell do I know about wine? I don't know
Yeah.
anything
But
about
you have all the
wine.
past Masters champions there that are still living. Like, who's one of the guys that always holds court at the Champions Dinner?
So my dinner, so it was 2016. So my dinner was the last one that Arnold Palmer attended before he passed away. So that was pretty awesome. So you get your menu, and everyone has one, and you just keep passing it around so everyone signs each menu. So it was the last one that he put his signature on at the
awesome.
dinner. And I actually shared the locker with him there too, so that kind of double cool. But it was, I don't even remember who holds court. It's Phil. I mean, Phil's got his
Weird.
section. There's really
Weird.
like 3 or 4 sections. Like, some guys sit in the same chair every year. It's just funny. Like, you go into a classroom, when you're growing up, and you sometimes there's assigned seat, sometimes there's not, and even when there's not, everyone sits in the same seat every year. It's similar to that. And then the hardest part is once it's not your dinner anymore, who am I going to spend the next 25, 30 years sitting at this dinner with? You got to kind of make these
answer
choices.
So, yeah,
question.
who do you
have
sit
been
next
sitting
to?
with? Last years?
I've sat pretty close to Phil. I think it's really entertaining. Clearly, you know that. You guys probably both very much know that. I've been next to Zach. Zach's been a mentor and a friend, Zach Johnson, since I came out on tour. But I try and get close to Phil. That's always fun. Jack Nicklaus tells a lot of stories, Gary Player. But that last dinner, that's what I was going to say, my dinner, which was Arnie's last, it seemed like everyone knew. And so at one point in the night, everyone stopped. Someone stopped. I think Mr. Crenshaw is the host, Ben Crenshaw. And I think he stopped it and said, let's all tell a story about Arnold Palmer and how he inspired us. And they went around the entire room, and that was most of the dinner. Was everyone telling a story about Arnold Palmer while he's sitting there just, blushing at 80-something years old.
Unbelievable. Did you get to talk with Arnold Palmer much in that last dinner?
No, I mean, my only story I had was I was able to, in 2014, my first Masters before it started, Wednesday afternoon, I was told that all the Masters rookies go to the Wednesday afternoon member party on the back, and I was the only freaking player there, obviously, because it's the night before the Masters, but I had no idea. So I was there. I ended up in just a conversation with just Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer, and I was 20 years old, and it was.
Does that kind of relate to what you're doing right now?
More nervous with them or with me and Cole
I feel
right
like
now?
That's the same
Go.
thing.
Similar nerves?
Yeah. I have more faith in Colt's 5-wood than I did in either one of theirs.
That's understandable.
Yeah, if someone needed to hit a 5-wood,
I hate that.
Yeah, that club has lost me some money.
Sticking on Augusta National for a second, obviously that's the one that you need for the career Grand Slam. What's that week like for you? Is there extra pressure compared to the other majors, considering you haven't done it yet, or is it just one that you haven't been able to win yet?
Sometimes because it's the one that I haven't won, the only thing I think about that week is winning it, and that's not that like as you know, Colt, that's not the way to approach a golf tournament, right? I mean, so if I looked at the way I approached LACC, and you're dissecting a golf course, and you're like, okay, well, this is how I want to play the first 3 or 4 holes, and then you're just into the tournament, you're into your process, and you're into just figuring out a way to manage yourself around the golf course. And I think sometimes at Augusta, I'm too much of a leaderboard watcher too early. So for example, this year, Brooks got off to that really hot start, and he was on the 8th green on Friday morning, and I was on the 1st green. And I think I was even par for the tournament, and Brooks had just birdied the 8th hole to go to 10 under for the tournament. So I'm like 10 shots back, and I'm already feel like I need to chase, and I need to do something. And, so I think, and it's hard, what those leaderboards are like at Augusta. They're those big, you can't miss them. They're everywhere. And I think sometimes at Augusta, I'm just a bit too much of a leaderboard watcher and seeing where I am in relation to the lead and where everyone else is. And I just feel at Augusta sometimes I get too results orientated too early instead of just getting myself in the tournament, playing my way into contention like I do at basically every other tournament, and then just going from there. So yeah, there's probably I probably get in my head a little bit too much around there at times, but there's been other times where I've handled it okay and I've had good results. But I feel there's a different hype to Augusta. There's a massive build up. It's the first major of the year. There's a lot of things that are just a little bit different to Augusta, and it's trying to manage all of those things at the start of the week as well.
Brutal walk, there's no doubt about it. But I want to go to Sunday because you were right there in the mix. Final pairing, Jordan Spieth. The day didn't go the way you wanted it to, but you're playing alongside one of your best friends. He had a 5-shot lead with 9 holes to play.
Right.
And I feel like even though, you wanted to play well, once you were kind of out of it, you want your friend to play well, and you want him to finish the job. Take us through that moment on number 12 when it all kind of got a little out of control.
I'm gonna start at 9.
Okay.
Because 9 is where I felt like I probably had lost my chances to win. I felt like I ball striked it well to that point, but I think I had 3 or 4 3-putts on the front 9, and I 3-putted 9 from 20 feet. And Jordan made a 15-footer for birdie, and the place is going bonkers. They were walking to 10T. I'm literally just looking for something to punch. If there's anything around, I just want to punch something. I'm so mad. And I thought to myself, he's like, well, you know what? Today's not my day. Let's just try to have fun on the back 9. And it's really cool that you get to watch, one of your buddies win the Masters. And then 10, 11, he made some kind of just casual bogeys, but I never felt like it was in doubt if he just hits it on the green on 12. But, man, he had a right miss going all day, and, of course, it came out at the worst time. And, yeah, it wasn't fun to watch. It's never fun watching anybody go through something like that. And it's not like he didn't take his time, and he was taking his time. He it was kind of a point of his career where he was actually known for being too slow. If anything, he wasn't too fast in that situation, and just just didn't go his way. But he fought like hell, man, and he had Augusta National, and that was my biggest respect for him was he rallied that place on the back nine after that. And to me, those are my memories on that Sunday, is watching the place try to get him over the hump to come back and win. It was such an odd day that, I was so disappointed in myself. But when I finished the day, I think I had started having more of a realization of what I just witnessed. And when I got in the scoring tent, I felt like that's where, to me, I felt like the moment of, wow, we're off the golf course and now this is real life of, what just happened on the second nine at Augusta National. And now that he has to put the jacket on Danny Willett, that was something that in that scoring tent, I started realizing that he was having to do. And it's just not easy, man.
How about that double gut punch? Not only did you lose, now you got to go put the
you
jacket on the guy.
You got to stick around and put on a smile and go hand over your green jacket.
There will never be a worse situation, and probably in Masters history, than him having to put the jacket on Danny Willett.
Ugh.
Take us back a little bit before that final round. So here you are, you're a Masters rookie, you're playing great, you're in the final group. Go back to that night. How hard is it to get to sleep? What do you do? And then in the morning, you have so much time to kill before you tee off. That's going to just be all you want to do is get out there, I would think.
Yeah, a couple things on that. You sleep really well here at Augusta National because the walk is so difficult. It's one of the toughest walks on the entire year, besides maybe Kapalua. So you sleep well because you're exhausted. And when I woke up the next day, it was finally morning. Thank goodness. I woke up and it was morning. But then you have to wait till 3 o'clock to tee off. It's so long. And instead of watching the coverage, I watched movies. And the movie that came on was, God, I'm totally blanking right now. The one where he tries to continue to hit it over the water.
Thin Cup?
Thin Cup, buddy.
Thin Cup.
It's a gold
I
classic.
blanked.
Bad choice.
Terrible choice.
Bad omen,
But
dude.
in Tin Cup, when he switches his change from his left pocket to his right pocket.
Yeah, he went through a lot of stuff.
Yeah, to try to fix the juju out there. That Sunday, I switched all of my stuff, and I've never done this before. On number 11, I was like, I gotta change something, and so I take all my tees out of my left pocket and put them in my right pocket, thinking, God, I can't get any worse than this.
Gotta be the reason.
And then I birdied 12.
Should have gotten drunk. You play way better hungover.
Oh God, I don't know, but that was my worst decision. Was that I actually somehow ended up running. I'm always running late, and I was kind of running late that day somehow for 3 o'clock tee time. But that's normal.
I don't
for
know
me.
if you know this, but TV starts with or without you. There's these air times, so maybe tighten that up a little bit.
No, I like the way Smylie operates.